What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today we're gonna go over the controls, inputs, and outputs for your Rock Shaker 15. Starting with the power switch here, this will turn on the sub, so if we lift it to the on position, turns the sub on. You'll also be able to tell that it's on by looking at the power LED on the top here. Below the LED, we have the volume knob to control the overall volume coming out of the sub. And below the volume knob, we have the frequency knob, which acts as the low pass filter for the sub. So we can use this to control the frequency range coming out. So for example, if I set this to 100 Hertz, you'll have the frequency range from 100 Hertz and below, and you won't be able to hear anything from 100 Hertz and above. In the middle here, we have the RCA line input and the RCA line output. You can use the RCA input to connect your sub to a device that has an RCA output or even a dedicated sub output, like your DVD player, home theater receiver, etc. And then you can use the RCA output to expand your setup even further with additional powered speakers or subwoofers. Below that, we have the phase switch to flip the phase of the subwoofer in case it's out of sync with the rest of your setup. One way to tell if your sub is out of sync is if you feel like the air is being pushed into the sub instead of pushing out. So if you feel like this is the case, you might want to use the phase switch to sync it up to the rest of your setup. Below that, we have the auto switch, which will determine how our sub is powered. For example, if you flip this switch all the way to the right, then this will be set to the on mode where the sub will stay on at all times. But then if you switch it to the auto mode, this means it's going to stay on for about 15 minutes or as long as there is signal running to the sub. So this acts as an energy conserver, so whenever the sub is not receiving any signal or not playing any music, it's gonna turn off after 15 minutes. And if we flip this all the way to the off position, the sub will be powered off even when it's powered on. You can think of this as a standby mode, so if you don't want to use it temporarily but you still want to have the sub powered on, you can flip it to the off switch. We can use the high-level input terminals if we want to set up our sub using speaker wire from your home theater receiver or the passive speakers connected to your receiver. Then we can use the high-level output terminals to send the signal from your sub out to your passive speakers or to the rest of your setup. So hopefully this helped explain all of the controls, inputs, and outputs for your Rock Shaker 15. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.